Hello there, welcome. My name is Darlington Gospel and this is Dapp Mentors. So in this particular tutorial, I want to teach you how to use Redux or configure Redux for your Web3 application. A while ago, I had someone ask me a question if Redux was very important for Web3 development, and I actually made a short video concerning why Redux is very important for Web3 development. So in this video right now, I want to show you step by step how you can configure Redux toolkit and have it, settled in your application development process. So I'm going to show you how to configure it, how to add, the slices, the states, the actions, and perform mutation, dispatch actions, and all of those sort of things. So we're going to see step by step in this little tutorial that I'm showing you. And of course, this tutorial is part of a course that I'm building, and will soon be released on the channel, maybe by next week. So it's a big course, all right? So you do check it out as well. Go to the website and get yourself registered on our Dapp Mentors Academy, and then you have access to it for subscribers. And before we move further into the course, please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so, all right? Just hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss out on any upcoming videos that are going to be dropping on the channel. All right, with that said, let's jump into this tutorial. Okay, so this is our application currently right now. I'm going to spin it up and show you what it is. So say yarn dev. This is actually built with Next.js, okay? So just take note of that. I'm going to open this on the browser. Okay, the application, started, and we have all of this fantastic stuff. So basically, this particular application is a cinema platform, okay, where tickets can be purchased and a whole lot of things concerning those tickets being converted to NFTs and a whole lot of features involved in it. But that is not the focus of this particular training. Of course, the training for all of this can be found on our premium platform, exclusive content and all of that. Go to Dapp Mentors Academy to get all these things together. So basically, what we're looking for right now is look at these trending cards, okay? These movies that are trending, okay? So we want to be able to put these things on Redux. We want to bring Redux into the mix where these things are operating using a central state management library, okay? So I'm going to show you the essence of it. So to get all these things, there's a lot of things here that I would like to do, but without Redux, I can't do it, okay? But there are other state management libraries that are quite useful as well. But if you're going to be building for a company or for, a tech firm, they will often prefer the use of Redux. So let me show you how you can use Redux here. First of all, when we come here, I need to look at these pages. This is a page, this index page right here. All right, so look at where we're getting these server-side props. Okay, we're actually grabbing, generated movies. Okay, these movies that are actually fake, they're not real. So I'm actually generating them using this function right here. So this function is responsible for generating this fake data about a movie. And I could supply any amount that I want, and then it will generate that amount for me. Okay, so these are coming, but they are coming straight, and I'm utilizing them inside of this particular Next.js page straightforward. They're supposed to be bridged by a state management library. Why it's needed to be bridged is because when I'm adding a new one into the store, it should be able to appear seamlessly. For now, let's configure this particular application. Let's have it wrapped around a Redux toolkit. And to get started with that, the first thing you need to do is to install, Redux. All right. So right now I've already installed it, so I don't need to install it again. I'm going to just show you which one I installed so that you install exactly the same thing. First, you will need this React Redux, which is one. Okay, you can type yarn add React Redux, okay. And not only that, you also need this at Redux toolkit, okay. You need these two packages, all right, and then you install it, but it's already been installed. I'm just going to cancel this so that I won't have to do it over again. So this is the first thing you need to do. And once you get these two packages, the next thing you need to do is to come to the root of this project and create a new folder. Call the new folder store, okay, like that. So all of the codes that we operate the Redux, all the codes that we operate in Redux will actually be centered inside the store. One thing you must know about Redux is that there are states, which is like the container that we hold the variables, and there are actions, which are like the functions that we change the state of those variables. What I mean by that is the state of the variable could be like, okay, true, and then the function that changes it, which is the action, can change it from true to false, or from false to true. So we need to create two new folders here. One will call it states. This will hold all the states inside our application, and another one called actions. Okay, this will hold all the actions inside our application, and every action must have an equivalent state. Okay, so to get started here, we need to come here to this state, create a new file, call it let's just say global. Okay, so basically, for example, if I want to use one global state variable to hold all my states in my application, I could just name it global state. Okay, but if you have something like user states, okay, states, which we hold all the all the values or all the states that belongs to users. If you have another one called something like cat state, which you hold like all the values within a cat and so on. So you want to make sure that whatever you do is tailored to what you're doing. For my use case, I'm going to save global state. Okay, and inside of global state, I'm going to create a variable. Okay, so I'm going to come here, call it const global state, and we say is it called to an object. All right, so but this is not very definitive of what we're looking for. So in respect to that, okay, we're going to create, let me show you a type interface that I've designed specifically for this, which is this global state. The global state has various interfaces for various values that are going to be entered into the store. All right, so if any value is not found here, TypeScript is going to complain. All right, but just to help you, all right, so I'm going to basically just duplicate this, and I remove most of this. Okay, so I'll say global state v2, this is version 2 of it. So global state version 2, I will remove all this thing and start from scratch. So for example, the first thing we want to do is want to be able to add add movies. Okay, so we want to be able to add movies, so call this movies. Okay, movies is an array, but not just any array, but it's of a type of this movie struct array, this struct. So I'm going to say I want a type of movie struct array. Okay, so this is what we defined. And not only that, I will say root state 2. I'm going to call this root state 2, basically just duplicating stuff here so that it will sync well with what we're doing. So this root state 2 will now become this global state. So I'll call it global state. Global state. Sorry, it's a type of global state. Say global state. Okay, state. Sorry. So this is the interface. We're going to use this one later, but this is what we're going to be using right now. So I'm going to save this. Come here and say that this is a type of what? Global state. Make sure you import it from that location. All right. So this is for TypeScript. All right. I'm doing this because I'm actually using TypeScript. Okay. So, and of course I want to export this. So we'll say export this global state. Okay. And it say that property movies is missing in type of object, but require global state, to movies is declared here. Okay, so it means that I need to declare whatever I declared inside here. So I'm going to declare movies right now and say it's an array. You can see that our error is gone. So with this, all right, I've set up my action, my state, sorry, and then I'll come into this action. I'll do something similar. I'll say global action .tf, this TypeScript. See, if you follow this process that I'm doing, it will become very easy for you to operate. So I'm going to copy this right now. I'll come here. I call this global actions. All right. And everything remains the same, but I'm just going to change these global actions. So I'm going to say set movies, which is a key, and it's going to be linked to a function. This is how you perform this is how you perform actions. This is how you create actions. Okay, so it's very important that you do it exactly as I'm doing it. This will really help you. So remember, in Redux, these form actions take two parameters. The first parameter is called the state, and then the second parameter is called an action. All right. Merely doing this in bare-bones JavaScript is okay, but since I'm using TypeScript, I have to define the types of this state and this action. All right. So I'm going to say state is what? Global state version 2. And this action is of a type of payload action. Payload action. Let's import that. This is supposed to come from this payload action is supposed to be coming from Redux. Okay, so at Redux toolkit. So say payload action here. Okay, so this is the payload action, and you want to say that this state dot movies, you want to push new item inside of it since it's an array, and the item that you're pushing is basically this action dot payload. Okay, so it's having an error here. This is basically because we did not define a type. We need to define a type here. So the type of what we're pushing in here is basically a single movie. Okay, so we'll get that from movie struct. All right, so we'll get that from movie struct. Okay, so, and now it's saying that void is not assignable to. Okay, so I think I'm making a little mistake here. So I'm supposed to remove that and make sure that this is all set up like this. So with this, we'll be able to to push this in, be able to push this in properly. So this is what we're doing. This is an action that helps us to set up a particular movie, just pushing it into that array. So with this simple stuff here, you've been able to define, a movie, the state of that movie and the action of it. That's cool. So the next one that you need to do is to create another file, call it global slices, or global slice. Let's call it global slices dot. Let's call this TS, this TypeScript, okay? So inside these global slices, take note here that I didn't put it inside any one of these folders except in the main store folder. Okay, so what you want to do is want to export another constant called global slices, and we'll create slice. Okay, this is a Redux stuff, what Redux uses. You know what, let me increase the font of this slide to be a lot easier. So now you want to pass in an object inside here. So inside of this object, this is where we'll define all the information concerning it. Okay, so we'll come here, we say that you want to give it a name. A slice has a name, so call this global. Okay, just global, and want to initiate the state. Okay, we'll call it global state. Okay, so we're supposed to call it a global state. Okay, the one that is coming from here, of course, this global state, and you can see that it's been automatically imported. And lastly, I want to call reducers, and the reducers is going to be what? These global actions. Okay, so these are the values, okay, that have been passed into here. Okay, so this is great, but one more thing, I want us to just give this an alias. So I'm going to say I want to import this as global states, okay, not with small g. And also it's going to make sense later on why I would doing it this way. So I'm going to say, or let me just leave it this way for now. I'm going to show you why I am choosing to do it like this. And afterward, they want to say export const, call it global slices dot reducer. So you're exporting these global slices. Sorry, just made a little mistakes. Okay, export default global slices dot reducer. Okay, good. Not reducers, reducer. Okay, so now this is good, but you also need to export these actions. Okay, so you want to say export const global action is equal to global slices dot action with an S. Okay, you see that this name that you're trying to create here is conflicting with this one and with this one. Okay, so you're having error because of lack of name differences. So that's why we're importing this. We can import this as, global action with a big G. All right, and then you replace that with this, and that whole craziness is gone. But to keep things consistent between this state and this action, you need to also do the same thing here. Okay, as global states, all right, and you replace this here, and this is fine. So with this, you've been able to create a slice for global state and action only. All right, so if you have more slides, more actions, different actions, let's say another one for user actions and another one for user state, you're also going to create another slides for those as well. All right, so with that, said, now you need to create one more important file. That one is called the main store configuration. So since it's going to be inside this store folder, I'm going to just call it index.ts. So this is the main index file. And this is how you configure it. You say export const store, okay, is equal to configure store here, configure store, you pass in an object inside of it, say reducer, okay, and the reducer is going to be called global state. If you have as many reducers you have, you can add them here, okay. So we'll say global, as many slices, that you have, say global state. I'm going to call this global state. It's going to be called this global slice, okay, global slices, and you see that it's been imported here. So this is cool, this is great. So with this, you are kind of almost done. All right, so but you still need to go one step further, because we just created all this store configuration, but we haven't actually wrapped it around our application. To wrap it around our application, you come to these pages, this app here. This is one provider, but this is not the provider we're talking about, okay? So we want to wrap it all around this other one, this other provider. So to do that, I'm gonna just come here and create a component called provider. This provider is not coming from it's not coming from any other place but from React, from the store. All right, so I want to say provider, the one that is coming from React Redux. Okay, so let's import that. It's supposed to be coming from React Redux. Okay, so if it's not showing up here, you have to import it manually. So to import that manual, you say import, you say from React, dash Redux. Okay, so you pass in provider. Okay, so this provider right here, so I'm grabbing it here, so that is where it's coming from, and I'm going to wrap this entire application with it. So I have provider, but this provider needs one essential property called store. All right, this is a prop, and then you have to just pass in that store that we created, the one that is coming from this at store here. Okay, so with that, everything is set. Okay, so we've been able to configure this store, which is great. Okay, but I want to actually show you a process right now. So let me show you this. This app is responsive indeed. So come to console. I don't have Redux. I don't have a Redux. What is this name again? I don't have a Redux dev tool here, so I could install it. Look for Redux dev tool. Okay, let's see, install it from the Chrome store. So you just add it to this place. It will help you to detect if you have Redux installed on your machine or not. So it's basically very small, 1.8 megabytes. So it's added to Brave now. This is my browser. So here, let's see. Let me close this, open a new tab, copy this link, come here. You see, it's already added right there. So I just right click and you can see that Redux dev tool have been added. So I'm going to say to the left or to the right. So this is the dev tool. You can see that it's detecting no Redux. You understand? It doesn't detect any, it's not detecting any Redux so far. So what I want to do is to come back to my application, which is here. And I'm going to save this because remember I've not saved it yet. So I'm going to save this now and come back here. Here's my Redux. Okay. So it's refreshing the page. Okay. Okay. It's done. So to the right, you can see that this global state has been added. You can see that we have movies here, which is an array. Okay. This is really great. This is how, this is how this is done basically. So we've been able to configure our store first, and this validates that Redux is now on point. All right. So with that said, the next thing we want to do in the next part of this video is actually to create this and push it to the store. You understand? When we push it to the store and then we test that, okay, this thing is actually happening, then we can verify that all of these things works just great. Okay. All right. Now that we have our store configured, it's time to actually test this out. All right. So, but I'm not going to, spend my time, entering a whole lot of form because this form is just quite a lot. Look at it, a lot of it. So I'm going to just design a process that will help me to click on it once and just get added. So our goal is to actually add a new movie. Okay. That is what we're trying to achieve, and not just be able to add. We want to be able to see what we are adding. All right. So that is what we want to achieve here. So in order to do that, we need to make sure that this information that is displaying here are not coming directly from the server, but they are coming directly from the store. Okay, right now it's coming directly from the server, and let me show you that. When you come to this page, this index page here, you can see that this is a data that is coming from the server, get server props, and we're passing it through here, and we're just saving it as movies, but we're sending it straight to the components or the cards that are displaying the movies. All right, so we want to bridge this process right now so that it will favor us and will allow us to read this data. Okay, so that is what we're trying to achieve. So to do that, let's come to this action. Okay, come to action here, and inside action, let's create another function. Say set all movies. Okay, and this is not going to be a push anymore. This is going to be, say, is equal to payload.action, but this should be, an array. So we're sending an array here. So we're setting all movies with this. So this is what we're trying to achieve now. So let's come to this index page. I want to come to here and say const dispatch. Okay, dispatch is equal to use dispatch. Okay, so we're using dispatch, and then want to say const this global actions. One coming from a slice, and you want to say set all movies. Okay, so this is great, but we're not done. Now this is what you want to do. You want to utilize use effect. Okay, you want to utilize use effect, and you want to dispatch this set all movie. This set all movies. Okay, I'm gonna bypass this process here. I'm not gonna set it like this. I'm gonna set all movies, and I'm gonna set it with this movies data. Okay, and yeah, this is pretty much it. Okay, the only thing that you want to do is to make sure that this is a dependency. Okay, and this is also a dependency. So if anything changes with this, it will reset all these things. So this is very important for us to maintain. Okay, so this is great. One more thing that is waiting. Now that we are not reading these movies here, you can see that we're not reading movies from here. Want to read it from the store straight up instead of from the server. To do that, you want to come here and say const use selector. Okay, use selector is used to this is used to put things in the store. This is used to fetch things from the store. All right, so that is what use selector is for. And then you want to say state. Okay, and this state is going to have that root state, a type of root state, the version 2. Remember that we did that. And you want to say at the end it should return this state dot global state. So this is what we're getting, and from here I want to get that movie. Okay, so with this will be sent here. So it's grabbing movies from the store now and not from the server like we did before. So this radical change here means a lot, and it makes all the differences. All right, so let's save it and actually see this in action. All right, so we're gonna refresh this, make sure that everything is on point. So you see that we have 5. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna come to this. There's a component called nav_btn. So in this nav_btn, I'm gonna basically just duplicate this and bring it here. So this is not gonna have key. Let's do some modification. This is just gonna be a button. Okay, a button. All right, not gonna have this either, and gonna just see add tests. Okay, and this is going to be on click add test. All right, so let's come here and paste that what test add instead of test add. Say let's copy that. This should be test add, not add test. Okay, so you come here, make sure that you import these things. All right, so import that. Import this generate data, import this set movie. You need to import them very strictly. So you have to come here, say const dispatch. Okay, is equal to use dispatch. All right, so and then you say const set global actions. You want to say set movie. Okay, so we have that together. So let's test this out now. Let's check it out since we've moved it from that location to another. So okay, we have that right now. This is how many? 1 2 3 4 5. Let's add test. You can see that it's now 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if I add more again, it keeps increasing. You see that everything happens at real time. This is just because we're using Redux under the hood. So this is how you utilize Redux in your application in the simplest form of it. I've shown you in this small tutorial how to configure it, how to wrap it around your entire application, how to use it to read data, how to put functions or actions, put state, and all the whole things there. All right, so if you really want to go deeper into Redux and see how you can use it to develop real application that is robust and all of that, I would suggest that you can actually jump into this course that I'm preparing, which will be on the channel soon, or you subscribe to Dapp Mentors Academy and be sure that you can gain exclusive access to these courses as it's being released on the channel at a fragment of cost. So with that said, I'm Darlington Gospel, and if you haven't liked or subscribed to our video, please do so. It really will help the channel grow. So I will see you in the next video. Peace.